What up, hello guys, and welcome to this week's Doctor Who episode review. It's episode 8 of series 10, The Lie of the Land. Obviously, I've cut the title of this video down just so that you guys can see the actual title, because you know what YouTube's like, and you know what you're going to do, have a short thingy. So this week, we're diving into The Lie of the Land. Last night, I watched it. Normally, I do my reviews at 7:30 in the morning, but I didn't have time this morning. Other thing was going on. So I decided that I'm going to start doing them in the afternoon now, on a night. So I decided to just dive straight in and do this. So, Doctor Who, episode 8, it opens up with the Doctor explaining that the monks have been there throughout all of Earth's evolution. They've watched this. They've watched the Earth kind of evolve throughout time, and they've been there from the very beginning. We see them photoshopped into like different key events in time, such as parts where the World War II was happening. You know, we see them next to Winston Churchill. We are really badly photoshopped. We see them in all sorts of different time periods and kind of helping human civilization out. And so it's like the truth's been lifted about who these people are, who the monks are, and that they've been there from the very beginning. And so the Doctor kind of, in a way, like the Doctor then mentions that they were there to see civilization invent the light bulb, invent the internet, invent the telephone, and in a way, it's kind of like a bit of a history lesson. And obviously, Doctor Who was originally created as an educational history show, and so in a way, by actually kind of incorporating that, it kind of made me think of classic Who, when it was supposed to be hardcore kind of historical kind of context, which we haven't had many historical things like properly for a long time. So actually doing that at the start of this episode was quite cool. And then the Doctor mentions that the Cybermen and the Daleks defeated, like the monks defeated the Cybermen and the Daleks, but the clips they showed were like shots from when the Doctor defeated them. So at that point, I thought, hang on a minute. Are all the monks actually the Doctor and they're trying to save the world? And then we find out that the Doctor's just been doing a broadcast and we see his face and he's like, I promise you, everything's going to be okay, or something like that. And then the next thing we know, it goes to opening titles, which are obviously the standard ones that we've had for like 2 or 3 years. Well, since Capaldi came on. And then these, like, the soldiers of truth burst into this couple's house and they arrest them. And I actually had, like, the way they were speaking, the way they burst in and accused them of selling anti-truth propaganda. So it was like, you're selling propaganda against what's already happened. And to me, that then, like, I was just like, okay, then, you know, that's what they're doing. But then she said you're sentenced to a labour camp. And the fact that they were wearing these army soldier outfits that were kind of a brown colour and they have a logo on their arm just made me think they're practically Nazis. The monks have turned the civilization into Nazis, even though they apparently want peace. But obviously, as we know, the Nazis stole the Hindu symbol of peace and turned it into a very hateful kind of symbol with the swastika. So I suppose in a way Doctor Who had kind of gone along that lines with the start of this episode, and I thought the entire episode was going to be like, okay, this is hardcore. Then when we actually see the couple, like the woman get arrested outside, I noticed that everyone was wearing the same clothes. Now, I'm not sure if that was on purpose, like the monks are making everyone wear the same thing or the same style clothes, so either people were wearing long kind of overcoats like Sherlock, or they were wearing like build a kind of full suit type things that plumbers wear or whatever. But I wasn't sure if that was what they were actually doing or what. I did think it was quite funny that Bill, in a way, when she sat down and we see her sat down in her house and she talks to her mum, and the way she just kind of goes into her mind, it reminded me of Sherlock. It's like she's created a mind palace within her mind in order to imagine her mum and to get information and pick out what's going on, I suppose, that she can't, like, subconsciously understand. And so by making this subconscious of her mother within her head was kind of like within a mind palace. And the fact that she was wearing like a long Sherlock-style coat for this episode, it did kind of add to that. So I feel like that was Moffat trying to hint at Sherlock-type things within the Doctor Who universe, but that might have just been him just putting that out there. I don't know. And then we see like shots of people praising the monks as they're killing people. And the Doctor, he wouldn't allow that. Like, that's not right. Humans shouldn't praise when someone comes and brutally murders people, basically because they committed a crime. But because they're brainwashed, I suppose, you have to understand that. And like, Nardole walks into Bill's apartment and it scares the living daylights out of her. And she nearly hits him with a chair, but I just thought it was funny. It seemed like they were living together, but then she mentions that he went away for 6 months or whatever, and he did things like I don't know. He was looking for the Doctor or something. Anyway, and Nardole then, like, we kind of recognise that nobody kind of knows what's really been happening. Everyone's brainwashed, and now I thought this was like a really funny line that the Doctor has takeaway menus. I'm not sure whether that's because his companions order the takeaways or if the Doctor just genuinely gets peckish and can't bother cooking in the kitchen, that he just orders the takeaway. Not that we've ever seen the Doctor have a takeaway, I don't think. I feel like if anyone's Doctor had a takeaway, it would probably Matt Smith's Doctor. I can imagine him having a takeaway. Then again, he did have an Easter egg at one point, so at least we know the Doctor eats, because he doesn't tend to eat that much. So obviously Nardole and Bill they open the map, and the way they kind of open the map and they start, it's like they're adventurers and they're going on this massive exploration kind of adventure to find the Doctor together, and they're going to find him and they're going to get him and they're going to rescue him because they think he's turned to the monks, but Bill thinks it's an act, like he hasn't turned to the monks. So then they manage to sneak onto the prison boat, and then not the prison. Well, yeah, it is the prison boat, but they get onto one boat and then they kind of sneak onto the prison boat once they get onto the supply boat, then they sneak onto the prison boat, which I thought was kind of funny. That then it's kind of like they're going on this massive spy mission, like looking around corridors, and they're all dressed in like black and stuff as well. So it kind of reminded me of like they were going sorry, I always yawn in these videos. Like they were going on a review. A review. Fuck me. Sorry, I've just been demonetized. Like they were going on some kind of spy mission. That's how I felt anyway. So obviously they're trying to save the Doctor, but then the Doctor suddenly calls the guards. Now, one thing I have to say about the Doctor in this episode, I love his new coat. I don't think he had it on last episode, because I think he had his normal black one on last episode. But this one's kind of like a green tinted type coat, and I do like how cool it looks. It looks scruffy and tatty, but it does look quite like it suits him as the Doctor. So I just thought I'd mention his new coat if you guys picked up on that. Obviously, if there are things that I didn't mention in the review that you guys picked up on, definitely comment them below, because you never know, I can mention them in a future episode. But yeah, and obviously the Doctor calls the guards and apparently the monks. And at this point, I was thinking, what has happened to the Doctor? What has Moffat done? This is not the Doctor. And then the Doctor explains that the evolution of Earth is kind of going back in time. So it's like, we're ruining the atmosphere, we're ruining the world that much. It's going back to how it was in the beginning, because the world's ending. And obviously, when the world ends, it will go back to the beginning, and more life will grow, and the planet will have a future once we've done what we've done, because we're that bad of a people. And then the Doctor has his big speech about global warming and how the humans are ruining the Earth, and everything that Bill's done and how it's her fault for handing this Earth over to them, and how that she's the linchpin and she's the reason that all this has happened, that the world's gone to shit. She's the absolute reason. And that really, and she's like, oh, so this is real then. You've actually joined the monks. And this really annoys her. So she pulls out a pistol and shoots him. So obviously, we know that when the Doctor's hurt, he regenerates. So he starts to regenerate and does a bit of a regeneration. And then for a quick, it was as fast as his regeneration from the 11th to the 12th. It was just quick. At that moment, I thought, oh my God, please say they're not getting rid of the 12th Doctor. Because one thing I noticed in the trailer for the series, they didn't show any footage really from after this episode other than the Queen of Mars, the Empress of Mars episode, which is next episode. So we didn't really get to see that much. But I suppose we already knew within the finale, so he can't have regenerated. So yeah, I was just hoping that he wouldn't regenerate and everything we've been told was a lie. But it turns out it's all a trick, and he jokes around and he's like, was a regeneration a bit too much? Nardole was in on it, and Bill goes to punch the Doctor, and she goes, I'm going to knock the not to punch the Doctor, not to punch Nardole until the Doctor stops her. And she goes, I'm going to punch the shit out of you. And she basically nearly says shit, which I thought was kind of funny because that's the sort of companion that Bill is. She's a companion. She doesn't care, but she has emotions and she cares about Earth. And one thing I will say about Bill, after watching this episode, I am really starting to like her. At the start of the series, I wasn't that keen on her, but I don't know if any of you guys agree. If you do agree, she's definitely grown as a character. She's more of a three-dimensional character, unlike some of the other characters that we saw that have been companions in the past. I'm kind of really happy that she's kind of becoming this strong, independent character. And the vibes I got from her in this episode, 100% reminded me of Martha Jones. Now, it's not just because she's a black actress that's playing the companion like Freema Agyeman was. I think it's just the fact that Martha Jones became a unit soldier. She was hardcore and she wasn't afraid of anything. And that's exactly what Bill is. And I feel like that's what they've done. I mean, it's Peter Capaldi's third season. David Tennant's third season was Martha Jones. So having a third, this is kind of like Peter Capaldi's third season, and it's like this is his last season. But it's strange because the Doctor, it's kind of like Stephen Moffat with this series. It's kind of like he's tried to go for the kind of the early Doctor Who episodes and kind of tried to modernize them a little bit. And by early, I mean 2005 to 2009, really. I feel like he's gone for Russell T Davies' kind of era with this series. And to be honest, I am enjoying this series a lot more than I did Series 8 or Series 9. Which, yeah. So obviously, it's all a thing. And then the Doctor and Bill go back to the unit, and the monks are already there waiting for them. The Doctor knows he has to defeat them, so he says, right, that's it, I'm opening the vault. He walks into the vault, and we see that it's bigger on the inside. Now, as soon as he opened the vault, I went, please say it's Mrs. TARDIS, and she's on the inside, and it's bigger on the inside. He walked in, it was bigger on the inside, but it wasn't a TARDIS. So my theory about being the TARDIS was debunked, but it wasn't the TARDIS. However, there is something in this vault which I will talk about in a little bit, just in a few minutes. Obviously, we open the vault, we see that Missy's sat with the piano in a circular dome. We see it's bigger on the inside. Missy basically explains that she's had run-ins in with the monks before, and the fact that there are rumours to do with a Doctor Who spin-off at the moment kind of made me think that what if Stephen Moffat's planning a Master spin-off where we get to see Johnson regenerate into Michelle Gomez, and we get to see the Master go off on adventures, kind of fighting monsters themselves, like the Doctor. I suppose with Missy, the Doctor and Missy have this relationship. It's a love-hate relationship, but Missy's not as much like the Master anymore, because I suppose this series she is trying to be good. Now, I'm just going to go to my files and I want to show you guys something. Something that I have seen throughout Doctor Who for the past, God knows how long. It's been quite a while. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see that? Okay. So, right. Look in the left corner of this image. This symbol. This symbol here. Right? Recognize it? Do you recognize it, guys? That symbol was on the wall of the library in the first part, in the Veritas episode, which I can't remember what it was called. I forgot what it was called, but the first part of this 3-part thing, that symbol was behind the Doctor and Bill, and I was talking about it, but I couldn't get a screenshot of it. I was talking about it, and I said it was in Series 8. There were 2 pillars in Series 8, and we thought it was something to do with the Master's TARDIS. Okay? And the fact now that Missy is now in this room here with this on the wall kind of makes me think that there is something significant about that shape. I don't know if it's them reusing sets or if Stephen Moffat's basically put it in there as a little Easter egg that no one understands. I don't understand it. And I'm really quite curious about it. And as to who they are, to what it is, because there were 2 pillars in Series 8 when Missy was first revealed. There was 2 pillars outside a wall, and they were black, and people thought, is it possible that that's the Master's TARDIS? But it turned out not to be, and it keeps showing up regularly in Doctor Who. It was in a few weeks ago, it was in this week's, and when I saw it this episode, obviously you can see a better shot of it there, kind of. You can see a better shot of, like, oh, I don't think, yeah, you can see it there on the side. It's like a tower. It's like the needle in front of, it's in America, the Nefertiti's needle, I believe it is. It's like that, and that's kind of what it reminds me of. And I don't know what it is about it, but there's just something about it that reminds me of that particular like thing. So if you guys agree with that theory, that there is something about that structure that has been shown in Doctor Who before, then let me know, because if you guys agree, it would be amazing. Let me see if I can find this, if I can find it in the Series 8 trailer. I'm pretty sure it was in the Series 8 trailer. I remember seeing it. And people, okay, so let me go try and find it. Okay, so Doctor Who Series 8. Okay. I'm not going to let you guys hear it, because let me just see if I can try and find a free shot of it where you guys can see it. Okay, I've muted the sound so you won't hear it. Okay, so the trailer started off with that kind of so wait, trailer, right? Yeah, because it's the full 3D launch trailer. Okay, there's Clara. There's the Doctor with his little thing. There's the Doctor kind of ripping the TARDIS apart. The TARDIS flying through space. The Doctor doing that evil thing with his eyes where we get to see the clockwork. We get to see the teller. We see Victorian London. We see more Victorian London. We see Clara falling. We see robots. We see the Doctor riding. Maybe it's not in the Series 8 trailer. I swear it was in the Series 8 trailer. Maybe it was Series 9. Let me see if it was the Series 9 trailer. I'm not sure. Because you know what Moffat's like for having arcs that run throughout the entire season of a Doctor. And that's what Moffat's kind of known for. Actually, I think it might have been Series 9 that it was shown. They use footage of them diving in space, don't they? Well, the TARDIS going back. Please say it's in the trailer. Anywhere. Which is really strange. Nope. Missy. Doctor. Dalek City. Khan. Clara, the Doctor. Missy. Water people. Kingfisher. I don't think it's in this trailer. I don't know, unless it's in the second trailer, but I don't think it is. Was it in the second Series 8 trailer then, maybe? I think it might have been in the second Series 8 trailer. If they ever did one, I'm not sure. No, I don't think they ever did do 2 trailers. I think they only did 1. Alright, so if I can't find that, I'm going to show you it in last week's episode, okay? So I'm going to go to BBC iPlayer and I'm going to show you it in last week's episode. Because I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Because I feel balmy that you guys seem to have no idea what I'm talking about. If you do, then, you know, let me know that you know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to try and find it in last week's episode of Doctor Who. Not last week's, it might... Extremists! That's the first time I saw it. It was the first part of this 3-part story. Which, by the way, I was saying from the start that there was going to be a 3-part story. No one believed me. And I said, in the back of my mind, I can remember hearing that there was going to be a 3-part Doctor Who story. And it happened. Okay, so... Adol and Bill wandering off. Right. Nardole and Bill go off. It's when Nardole and Bill go off, I know that much. They wander off on their own and the Doctor tells them to go. Okay. It's coming soon. I'm going to find it for you guys and I'm going to show you guys it. There. Right. Hang on. Did I get it? I think I got that. I think I got it. I'm not sure. Try again just in case I didn't. Do you know what? I'll just share my internet screen with you guys. Right. This here, that there is the exact same symbol. That is the exact same symbol in which you guys could see in where is it? In here. Hang on, I'll show you it in a second. It is the exact same symbol that you guys could see that I showed you guys here. Look, it's the same exact symbol. Look at that. Okay. Hang on. Look at that symbol there. You see it? Okay. And then let's go to my... Yeah, let's go here. And then let's stop sharing my screen. Let's open this. Let's show you Chrome. It's the same frigging symbol, right? You cannot deny that. And that is not a reused set. That pyramid is something key within the 12th Doctor, either it's the Master's TARDIS or it's something to do with the Time Lords or Omega. I have no idea, but I'm hoping it will be revealed in the Doctor Who Christmas special. So let me know what your guys' theories are on this shape, because it did show up in a Doctor Who episode and it was like a structure. I don't have a clue what it has to do with these two episodes, but for some reason it's in there. So let me know in the comments below if you can see what I mean and if you have any theories about it. Because I feel like an idiot being like the only one with the theory, even though it has to be something. It's a symbol that has shown up throughout Doctor Who, the 12th Doctor's era, for the past 3 years. It has to be something key within the 12th Doctor's run. Anyway, moving on from my shape, we end up, you know, they go to the pyramid, you know, Bill's the linchpin. The Doctor plans to put his brainwaves on it. He does that, but he's like flying across the room because his brain's too strong and it just doesn't work. So Bill says her goodbyes. She sacrifices herself, and I love the room that they actually do this in within the pyramid. It kind of reminded me of the Pyramid of Mars. I don't know, that was the vibe that this episode was giving me, the Pyramids of Mars. And I suppose the monks do look a bit mummified as well. So, yeah. I suppose this episode kind of debunks the whole theory that the monks are actually Time Lords. Who knows? I didn't hear that theory get confirmed anyway. I suppose it could still be true, but the Doctor just doesn't know. So Bill sacrifices herself. She uses this memory of her mother, this pure love, this memory to kind of reveal the truth to everyone and kind of unbrainwash people. And the monks, Bill saves the world, and the monks basically just go off. And one thing I'm surprised I'm saying this so late into the series, but Nardole. Okay, let's talk about Nardole. He's a character that has been in Doctor Who for quite some time. And it shocked me, really. You know, he's a character that's been in Doctor Who for a few episodes now. But he's really grown as a character. I hated him when he first started, but now I'm really getting to like him. There's not much comedy coming from him. And to say Matt Lucas is a comedy actor, I do like the fact that he can do the serious. He can do the serious within Doctor Who, but he can add those odd little jokes in when it doesn't really matter. So yeah, the monks run away, and the Doctor's then sat by that ripped off kind of sculpture outside the university. A girl walks past, and the Doctor says, "Excuse me, what do you think this is?" And she goes, we just thought we were filming something. And that, to me, feels like an absolute shout out to fans. The fact that, for all I know, she could have literally just been a fan walking past, and they just asked her to say that line. Because, you know, it's just like, we just thought we were filming something. But the fact that she says we thought they were filming something makes it seem like they filmed things there before and it's perfectly normal. But who knows? And then the doctor, you know, Bill's like, why do you keep coming here? Why do you put up with? And he says, because somewhere in these billions of people, there's someone like you. I just put up with the rest. So in a way, the doctor basically says he'll always have a human companion, which we know is not true, because in the comics in the Doctor Who magazine, which I don't know if they're actually canon or not, the Doctor had a lizard companion between Amy dying and Clara coming on board. So yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, so Missy then gets all the gifts she wanted, and the Doctor and Missy are just sat having a nice chillax in the vault like good pals. So the next time trailer. Humans are on Mars in Victorian times, apparently. We get to see Ice Warriors, the Ice Warrior Queen, the Empress of the Ice Warriors, I believe the episode's called, or the Empress of Mars. And she also says, rise the Ice Warriors. So does this mean that there is a possibility for the for us to see an entire army of Ice Warriors, meaning that the one we saw in Cold War, Ice Warrior, a new race of Ice Warriors that we can see, which means Ice Warriors can come back, which brings back the possibility of a classic monster coming back to Doctor Who. I am absolutely shocked that this could happen, but I am loving the fact that it could happen. And I just think it's really good. That wraps up this review pretty much. That wraps up the review pretty much. Let me know if you guys agree on my theory about what that symbol is. If you guys agree it is something key within Doctor Who, please let me know, because it has to be something, and we know what Moffat's like. I need you guys to react in the comment and come out with the best fan theories you can for what this symbol is. I personally believe that in this year's Christmas special, that the Doctor is going to go out by Omega. It's something to do with Omega, possibly Omega's TARDIS, and it's been there from the very beginning. The Doctor's not seen it, but it's been there since the very start of his run. I'm pretty sure they showed it in Deep Breath. It was a very, 2-second clip, but it was in Deep Breath. I'm 100% sure of that. I'm 99.9% sure it was in that episode. If you guys can find the shot I'm on about and tweet me on Twitter, then let me know. But let me know your fan theories. Let me know what your theories of Doctor Who are going to be. I am going to put together a theory video on this symbol very soon. If I can find the clip where it was shown in Doctor Who series 8 or 9, whatever it was, as well. So yeah, definitely let me know. Let me know your fan theories of this symbol down below. Let me know your thoughts of the episode. Overall, The Lie of the Land, I thought was a really good episode. I thought it was a 8 out of 10 episode, I suppose. It had good story arc. It was a bit of it wasn't really much of a climactic ending, but I did like the fact that the Doctor tricked Bill into his regeneration. I'm not too keen on the fact that he did it, really, because it was kind of like rubbing the nose in the fans of the fact that the Doctor's regenerating this year. But you're not getting it yet, type thing. So it annoyed me a little bit, but it didn't bother me too much. It wasn't like a massive annoyance to me. But other than that, it was a good episode. I love how much Bill's grown as a character, and she's basically like Stephen Moffat's version of Martha Jones, I suppose. I love how much Nardole's grown as a character since the Husbands of River Song. He's become a fantastic character, and I'm hoping that symbol is something that will get explained either at the end of this series or it'll get explained because it's been shown twice in this series now, or if it'll get explained in the Christmas special. Hopefully it will. Hopefully we'll see it happen again. Obviously, we've still got the Master to return yet. John Sims' Master to return in the finale. So that is so good. And I am buzzing for the fact that that's going to happen. But other than that, guys, let me know your fan theories in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. I'll see you next week. I've been the Doc 11th. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next week. Goodbye for now, guys. Goodbye.